This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search from my site. Postmates Advanced Training. With this series of videos, I am soliciting people to try Postmates, put my name down as a person who referred you, and if you're successful, I earn a bonus. The internet videos like this are difficult because I don't know the audience. I don't think anyone really knows their audience. The commenters, my quick history report tells me I'm getting a lot of attention, and I got a couple of comments, and they're all my comment. Well, I mean, I've got likes and retweets and that type of stuff, but no one's given an acceleration of followers on Twitter. No one's told me enough about themselves, who has followed me or has liked or retweeted, or to have any idea who they are and why they're interested, except 3 people. Postmates, Bicycle, downtown Minneapolis, and near center Minneapolis locations. Steve, a guy who called me from Arizona, Car in the suburbs of Arizona, of Phoenix, and a woman who asked a question on Twitter. Her exchange was the most brief, which is why I'm struggling to figure out where she was. Los Angeles, I think. So it was Los Angeles, Minneapolis, and Phoenix, Arizona. So that doesn't begin to... I can't let 3 people represent all these people clicking on Click History Report. So here's the audience I intended. People are just listening, and perhaps they don't know why. Maybe they're interested in what people eat in New York City. And so I'm trying to include more of those tweets as I do my deliveries. And in addition to that, I can honestly understand how this is interesting to Postmates people, because when I have conversations like I did tonight with Daryl at 16 Handles in the East Village, the kinds of things I'm offering on these videos are the kinds of things I'm curious about and that he tells. Now, so anyways, the people who are listening just because I might say something interesting about what people are eating in the city. Tonight I have none of that. I didn't really think, I wasn't inspired by anything being unique or different or story-worthy. Postmates people, the gaps that I had without orders, this account from Daryl, who has his own bike, came into the city at 4. I saw him later. He'd worked 3 hours. He said, guess how many deliveries I had? I said, 3. Well, it turns out I guessed right, but he thought that was really low. He has his own bike. He certainly would, with his own bike, would do more than I do using the share bikes, but 3 would have been right about on par for me. So, but he was disappointed. So that's one of the reasons I think this is helpful. People who are disappointed with the results, you can look at mine. I'm not killing it. So maybe now you're going to feel worse if I'm performing better than you and I'm not killing it. That is not my intention. I surely believe someone with their own bicycle or someone that does share bikes and hustles is going to outperform me. And if you don't, you don't, whatever. I did do 12 today, 12 deliveries, none canceled, 12 full deliveries, and that's a career record for me. All right, so here are my tweets. I started at 9:39. Only New York people are going to understand this. I started at 9:39. This is Midtown, Port Authority bus terminal. I get on a bike and I go down 9th Avenue. If you were to click on this, you would see it. I go down 9th Avenue, and then I come over here, and right about here there's a blue dot. Shows where I was when I got the order. That ends up being about 30 minutes. So the first 30 minutes of today, I was without an order. It was prepaid. That's what that screen is. listeners, a click on any of the green box will tell you what the payout was for the job. This is awesome because when I finished, I was very near Whole Foods Market, and my next assignment was Whole Foods Market. And the woman needed allergy medicine, which is interesting because I'm suffering from allergies. The season seems to be bad. I've heard talk about it, and I usually have allergy troubles in the fall, and so it seems a severe time for allergies, and hopefully my shopping helped this woman ease her symptoms. I'm not medicated yet, but I've been close. So I'm still online there. I usually tweet that when I'm, so 12:25, my next order is, 12:38. This is the kind of day I had. It was charmed, very easy. So, a couple of minutes, let 5, 8, 10 minutes in between orders. When I was idle, I was only idle briefly. Eva's Kitchen, here's a picture. This is a muffin. Postmates people, this muffin is for you. This is a free muffin. The woman was nice to me, and she said, here, and this is for you. Now, Postmates people, nobody kisses our ass. A lot of times they don't even say thank you. We're bringing them a lot of business, and I did expect when I started to get a little ass kissing. We get none of it, almost none of it. There's a muffin, so it was good too. Ava's restaurant. I'll do a little promo for Ava's. Ava's on 8th. There, that's what I would have gotten paid for. Listeners, click on any of the green boxes. It'll say what I got paid. Buy Clo, I only did one of these today. And again, it was really efficient. I finished one delivery, and I ended up very near Buy Clo, and bing, there I am, next delivery, Buy Clo. No gap. Listeners who are interested in the scheduling in New York, I went into the city today. I had 0 hours scheduled, and I ended up I didn't work a single hour unscheduled. I had priority dispatch for every job I wanted. So what happens in New York, it seems, is that when the schedule comes out, everyone rushes and ping, 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 takes all the hours. And then when it comes to the weekend and it's a sunny day, they say, I kind of really don't want to work. And next thing you know, they open. So I got what I needed with very little bit of time spent. Juice press, there it is. Juice generation, those are the health cocktails. Online, I don't know why. Oh, because here's another gap. 4:52. I did this. These are tweeted in reverse from when the screen captures were. So these are basically the same time. 4:52, 4:51, and there I am paid again at 5:30. So I guess I didn't get the right screen gap. There was a minute's break in between. I was only here for a very brief period of time because you can see I'm already done with another order there. My battery's running low because I didn't stop and do my telemarketing today. When I do my telemarketing during the weekdays, I also charge my battery. Cafe Havana, and okay, this is when I took. This is why I tweeted. I went offline at 5:37. I did this when I was drinking coffee at a place called New York Coffee Project, and there I am back online at 7:13. So, oh really? That was a long break. Oh no, I went offline at 5:37, but I didn't finish the order. Again, I'm missing a screen here. I went offline at 5:37, probably finished the job at maybe 6:15, and I took an hour break. That's more sense. This is some audio blogging I did while on break. This is a cafe where I took a break. And then I had one more job, 16 Handles. I love 16 Handles. 16 Handles is where I met Daryl. Daryl, if you're listening, I hope you're not disappointed in your 3 deliveries. I think you had reason to be, but I sure wouldn't have been disappointed. Now, what Daryl's account is that he came in, his first job was in the 20s, in the streets, the 20s of Manhattan. And he ended up getting dispatched up to the 30s, and that kind of pissed him off, disappointed him. Daryl, forgive me, I don't have your words right, but That wasn't good. It's not good for me either, because on the weekend there are no bikes up in that part of the city, but you have your own bike, so makes me curious why you mind going that far. But and then I'm offline the second time after 16 handles. Here's some tweeting I did. There's a picture in Soho outside my last delivery. I have a cash flow problem. I ended up getting my debit card declined. I found some money on a Starbucks app so I could buy some water for the way home. Disaster. I'm now home, and I now have access to cash again. This was very poor planning on my part. I ended up in the city with no money. I mean, I ended up finding $5 in my pocket to pay for my coffee when the card declined. And so now I'm walking around New York City with $1 and change. Fortunately, I had bus passes to get home, and I've got my bike so I can go anywhere on the bike. So getting out of the city wasn't a problem. And I had already had dinner and, you know, whatever. So listeners, is it more troubling to be in New York City with like a ton of money or no money? Well, for me, it's a ton of money. A couple of years ago, I did some financial transaction with Adam Strom, and it was legal. I think we were schlepping from a check cashing place to a bank, like $10,000. I was so nervous. So today I'm in the city with $7.53 to my name at Starbucks and $1 and change in my pocket after my coffee. And I was more comfortable than when I had $10,000. And $10,000 it was probably 5-6 years ago that Adam and I did that. Made me crazy nervous. So I was more comfortable with $1 and change. Listeners, if you click on here, it'll give me my breakdown. Look at that. I got $10 from this guy on Broadway. Great guy. I've delivered to him twice now. He's the only guy I've done twice. Completely random or nearly random. Dwayne Reed yesterday, and now 16 handles tonight. I'd see the $10 tip. I like him even better. And listeners, a click there, and you'll see what my total, all 12. A click here, whoops, a click on each of these, and you'll get a payout per payout plus my tips all the way through. And then here I'm almost to $2,000, 258. You know, I'm in my 50s, and there's younger people doing this, and I'm very proud of this. I'm having fun, and that seems like a lot of work. 258 deliveries, you know, health cocktails and 16 handles, and sometimes a single cup of coffee. 258 of them. So this has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were, by the way, I want to feature that audio blogging I did on break. If you're at all interested, if you're an American and you're at all interested in what our U.S. military is doing, then last October when a hospital was gunned and destroyed, and nearly everyone in the hospital, including the doctors, were killed, the Pentagon has investigated and published a 3,000-page report, made front page. It was published yesterday on Friday, it made New York Times front page today, and that's what I did. I read it. So I do stories like that selectively. I did that one because I think it's an important story, and I think sifting through a long, detailed story like that is, of course, better than a 3,000-page Pentagon report, but yet it's still a lot of work. So your middle-aged blogger read it for you. That's what that, military, I think it's an Army bomber. It's called a gunboat. That's what that picture is in my tweets. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, a restful night's sleep. Ciao.